Amazon expands biometric palm scanning to healthcare with NYU Langon partnership. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. Shalom. I'm the brother Damal Gabar, here with another lesson. Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Now, I remember when Amazon One first came out with the palm reading technology in the different Amazon stores, which we told you is just a precursor and a lead up until ultimately the MOTB will be subdermally implanted into your right hand or in your forehead. All right. And now first it was just to get into the grocery store, but now we see Amazon expanding it into the healthcare sector. You see, and it's something that here at Great Millstone, starting with the elders and the apostles, that we've been telling you, all this is just gradual steps to get you people ready ultimately for the micro C hip. And like I've said in many videos, they're just gradually getting you prepped and, used to using these type of things. But eventually this technology will be used for you to be able to, you know, um, it's going to be required for you to, in all sectors of life. Now we see it's being used to get into certain Amazon stores, into certain Whole Food stores where they got this, where you got to scan your palm to have access to enter into these stores. And it's funny, just the other day, I went into an Albertsons. That's like a grocery chain here in California. And for many years, they've never had the turnstiles to walk in, to have to go into Albertsons. But yesterday I noticed when I went in there, because I had to grab something real quick, that it had the turnstiles, that before you walked in, it had to let you in through the thing. And I immediately, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, they're probably about to get ready to, either bring in some of that palm, some of that, where you got to scan your palm to be able to get in there, which we know ultimately is going to lead to the MOTB. So we're seeing, so I saw that yesterday. They got the little turnstiles. It has to, before you walk up to it, it has to basically, the machine has to actually, see that you're there to actually let you in. And immediately I thought, well, hey, that's just, they're just prepping you now to where, your access into these stores is all going to change pretty quickly, man. And we know it's going to ultimately lead to the MOTB. But now we see Amazon is expanding their biometric palm scanning into the healthcare system, which this will be eventually, all systems will require, you to have to be scanned, and you have to, offer up your biometrics. It's just all gradual steps to the MOTB, man. You see, it says Amazon's biometric payment system makes a bold entry into healthcare, raising fresh concerns over privacy and data concerns. You see it right here, all with your palm. You see, so they just, hey, it's right there to see, especially if you have the eyes to see and you're in the spirit, man. Which shows you these other Israelite groups who are telling you that the MOTB is sleeping with white women, it's sin in all of its forms, and all this other bull jive. As we can see, hey, man, the things that Great Millstone has been saying, hey, it's coming to pass, man. And everything is going to go towards this, with your palm. And then eventually we know it's going to be just swipe your hand and scan your micro C hip. It says Amazon's biometric palm prints and vein imagery scanning technology incorporated into its Amazon One payment system has for the first expanded, I think I meant to say it, for the first time expanded into the healthcare sector with mass scale deployment in the NYU Langone health system. You see, and this is just all prerequisite. This is just all, them prepping the people eventually to scan your micro C hip in order to get into these different places, to have access to healthcare, to have access to banking and to finances. Like I said, to go into the grocery store, to catch a cab or whatever the case might be. All things are going to lead towards the MOTB system, man. It says the use of Amazon One for patient check-ins is at this point optional in the initial 6 hospitals and more than 320 outpatient centers run by NYU Langone in New York. And like I said, they're going to test it here in New York, and then it's just going to ultimately, what it say, a mass scale deployment of this type of shit. And it's going to eventually be everywhere, you know? It says that, and what is it showing you? That in the future, if all of your biometrics, if all of your required data, if you're not digitally, linked up into the system that they're creating, you won't be able to have access to get into the hospital. Here it is, you're about to ready to drop dead, you're sick as hell, but you need to go to the hospital to see what's wrong. But guess what? You don't have all your biometrics updated. You don't have the required things to interact with the system. Guess what? You're not getting into that hospital. They're not going to be obligated to have to check you out or to see what's wrong with you if you don't have eventually your micro chip and all of your biometrics up to date. You see? So they're showing you, we can see where these things are going, man. And like I said, there's a mass scale deployment of this technology, and it's going to be everywhere eventually. Yeah, right now you might have the option to use it or not. Right now they still might check you in these hospitals, but we know it's going to get to the point to where eventually, hey, you're going to have to have these things. It's not going to be no ifs, ands, or buts. Either you're going to have it or you're not going to have it. That's why scriptures tell you that you're not going to be able to buy or sell save he that had the mark, and they'll be able to kill them that don't have the mark of the beast, which, it won't be literally in the sense of killing you at first, but you'll be killed in the sense of being separated from the system if you're not, if you're not linked up with the system. All right. It says the deal is considered to be a landmark, given that it is the largest deployment of Amazon One yet in a single industry, and this will only expand during 2025 to other NYU Langone facilities. See, and with Elon Musk in there with Trump and all of these these tech giants getting all this money, all of this funding, and being part of the Trump administration, hey, they're going to fast track this type of technology so that this MOTB can be prepped and the system can be in place. And all they're going to need is the right situation and the right, occurrence to make this thing be full scale and totally, and the system to be up and running. It says the provider reports a total of over 10 million patient visits each year. NYU Langone gives the same reason for using biometric identification technology as others, like airports and large venues. You see, so now when you go to the airport, this shit is already up in those places, in a lot of them. And now when you start going to more larger venues, even certain sporting events, I know the Crypto Arena here in LA where the Lakers play, that's totally cashless. And you got a lot of, I think, Minute Maid Park, I think that's in Florida somewhere. Some of those baseball stadiums are like this, where all of this technology is, it's already set up for you to, when you go to these venues, that's the only way that you can interact. Oh, places like SeaWorld, they don't even take cash there anymore. So when you go to SeaWorld, you have to put your cash into one of those machines and get like a authorized debit card for you to spend inside of SeaWorld, but it comes at a price, They're going to charge you in order to use those services. So they're basically, every phase of this society is going into this cashless, a society, which we know is going to eventually lead to, the MOTB, CBDCs, and all these different type of things. See, so this Langone facility is just, the future that they're slowly, gradually leading you people into, but they're always going to promise it. We're doing it because it's convenient, it's faster, it's so much this, it's so much that, and everybody is already used to things being more convenient. Everybody is used to just tapping your debit card to pay, to get in, to get out. So it's not going to be really much of a they're not going to have to sell it that much to the average moron, but we know eventually what the end goal is, And it says what? And it boils down to convenience, reducing wait times from 2 or 3 to less than just 1 minute, according to the NYU, streamlining check-in process and easing administrative workload for staff are some of the reasons cited by the healthcare provider, which that's not really the reason why, but of course they're going to use that, as the, at the forefront of why they're incorporating this technology. Of course, we know it's being used for more nefarious things. We know it's basically going to be used for a system of control. But in the meantime, they're just using this convenience as a way to sell this shit. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is more convenient. It does save time. But we know ultimately what the end game and what the goal of this whole shit is at the end of the day, man. It says, but surrendering highly sensitive biometric data for that type of benefit was and remains the controversial and critics say very bad trade off. Well, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, this is going to be a system that's going to be forced upon you. And once it's all set in place, either you're going to have one or two choices. Either you're going to get down with this new system, you're going to acquiesce to it, or you're going to be killed. You're going to be separated. You're going to be left out in the cold, and nobody's going to come to your aid. The government is not going to make any, you know, exceptions for you because of your religious beliefs or because you just don't think that the system is safe and is being used for evil. Hey, when it gets to that point to where it's fully up and running, either you're going to get down with it or you're just going to die pretty much, or be left out in the cold. You won't be able to buy or sell, receive benefits, get your CBDC, have access to a hospital, board a plane, get on a train, be able to go into the store or do anything. You'll just be left out. Just like in that movie Demolition Man, if you even get to that point, living underground, living as lepers from society, man. And Esau is doing all this so that you can come to him for the one of all things. And you have to bow down and worship him and his technology and AI and the microchip and the new beast system as God, man. If you want food, you want shelter, hey, you're going to have to bow down, bow the knee and take this MOTB and basically, let Esau get inside of you, man. It says possible privacy violations top the list of concerns, and from there on, the possibility that these huge data sets could be used to fuel mass surveillance at some point. Well, people are already being mass surveilled, but this is just going to give Esau, eventually once the MOTB is inside of you, access surveillance, not only what you're physically doing, but also on the inside of what's going on in your mind, in your brains, in your body, what you're thinking. Whether you're lying or not, he's trying to go that deep with this technology, but he just has to, get you to just buy into it. And then it's going to come with everything else that he's going to accomplish and do with you on the inside and bring in this whole transhumanistic, agenda that he has, It says it doesn't help that Amazon's biometric tool has been causing such concerns in the past and that the giant is now moving strongly into the healthcare of all industries. Well, eventually this technology, whether it's Amazon doing it or not, is going to be in all industries, right? It says to address this, NYU Langone stresses that Amazon will only have access to their patients' palm prints while health and personal data will not be included. Given the purpose of using Amazon One, the provider's assurance read like answering a question that no one asked. Well, they're all working hand in hand, so you can believe that BS if you want to, because eventually, it's going to go a lot deeper than them just having, access to your palm prints. They're going to have all of your biometrics. Everything about you is going to be on a huge server and a database to where they'll be able to track, trace, identify, and be able to know who's who, at all times, man. Every single thing that you do will be tracked and traced. It won't be nothing that the powers that be won't have access to, or information they won't be privy to about you, man. All right, because they're going to use AI technology to be as God, man. Just like how the Most High can see all and knows all at all times. There's no secret that can be withheld from the Most High. There's nothing that you can do in the dark that can't be brought to the light. Hey, Esau's trying to be on that same level, but with this type of technology. And it's really going to ultimately, be solidified when he able to put that MOTB inside of you, man, and have access to what's going on the inside and on the outside, But this is just, part of this system and how it's all being implemented at the end of the day. It says, however, many patients and observers are likely to wonder if the biometric data harvested in this way will be encrypted, which NYU Langone says will be the case. And yeah, of course, they're going to tell you that. It says patients will also be able to ask for their data to be deleted. And it's just like now. It's all bullshit. There's certain And trust me, there's going to be a lot of fine print once you sign up for these things that the average person is not going to read through all that shit. And it's just like when you delete your Instagram or Facebook post, you really believe that those pictures and all the images and all the information that you shared on those platforms, when you delete it, disappears into thin air and nobody ever has access to it? Yeah, okay. It's going to be the same with this shit, you know? And like I said, it's going to be so much in the fine print. No, you're not going to sit there and literally read all that shit before you sign up to these things. And I'm sure within the fine print, all the information that you enter into that Amazon One and other things that they're going to establish in the future is going to be, once you sign up to it, you're going to be signing away your rights for this information not to be deleted after you're done using it. Come on, man. It says patients will also be able to ask it for their data to be deleted and have the option of opting out once they opt in. Well, hey, in the future, once the system is fully in place, there's not going to be no opting out. Once you're in, you're in. All right. And they're going to own everything. That's why I said you're going to own nothing and you're going to be happy, man. Everything that this system has created is for total control over every aspect of your life, man. And once you're in, once you're sealed with that MOTB, once you allow them to stick you with that thing, man, hey, there ain't no opting out. You're done. You're his slave. You're his property. All right. And the only thing that's going to free you from that bondage is being melted by the nuclear destruction that Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is going to bring at his second returning, man. But as we can see, hey, this devil is moving this new technology into the healthcare sector. And we know, like he said, it's going to be a mass scale. What did it say? A mass scale. Yeah, a mass scale. A mass scale. A mass scale expansion into the healthcare system and eventually into all systems, man. But it's going to be culminated with that MOTB. And this is Revelations 13-16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, right? Because like the healthcare sector, everybody needs to see a doctor at some point, right? Whether you're small, whether you're rich, whether you're great, whether you're a celebrity, whether you're an actor, whether you're a homeless person, eventually everybody needs to go see the doctor, right? Everybody's going to need, everybody needs money to spend. Everybody needs to go into a grocery store, especially if you're not self-sufficient and growing farm growing your own food. But even if you are on a farm and you're raising your own food, you still have to go to the store. You still have to buy particular things. All right. You still have to go to town and get, something from somewhere, And once this system is fully implemented, hey, if you don't have what you need to buy and sell, then guess what? You're not going to have access to it, It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark or that charagma, that micro C-hip, in their right hand or in their foreheads. You see? And like I said, this whole thing that you're looking at right here is just slowly them gradually, making it to where eventually this will be how you'll have to have access to these different sectors of society. It says, in the right hand or in the foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You see? So you're going to have that mark. You're going to have that micro C-hip eventually in the future. But this is just all ways that they're prepping you people to be, to start using this system. First, it'll be with your palm, then it'll be with your eyes, then it'll be with your face. And eventually all that information and all that stuff is going to be eventually on an app. And then eventually is going to go to that MOTB, to that charagma, to that micro C-hip. You see? And then pretty soon they're gonna change that all with your palm into all with your C-hip, man. All right, so hey, these devils are mass expanding, and this is gonna become more and more, the thing to do, and how, your access to these particular things will, this is how you're gonna have access to these future systems, But it's all coming into place and it's all making sense, man. So, hey, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.